everybody. Welcome to the first of your 3 mandated breaks for the Storytellers Hearth Write-a-thon. How are we all doing today? Who have we got? We've got Summer Honey. Hello. Did you manage to squeeze in any extra work? And how much did you get done? SD, hello. Essie, Alice, Crystal, Catpaw, hello. Malin, Randy, CB, RK. How is everybody doing today? Joanna's very sleepy. Laura, hello. Hello, guys. Last time I did a mandated break, I was really super sneaky and set a timer for people wanting to do actual work. I've been forbidden from doing that this time around. So you just get me and the British Ramble. So have fun with that. Let me know where you are. Let me know what time it is for you. I know it's probably quite early for some of you. A little bit later for others. It's a fun 4 o'clock in the afternoon for me. So I'm not doing too badly. I have also been productive though, so that is the main thing, that I am happy to have actually gotten some stuff done. Let me know how the weekend has gone for you so far. What have you managed to achieve? What have you managed to get done? If you've been doing reading. Oh, it is very early for some people. CB, Some Deep Mystery, 8 a.m. for Joanna as well. Fell asleep at 3. Joanna, why did we go asleep so late? I hope it wasn't because you were partaking in any of the later streams last night. Dharma, hello, 9 a.m. in Phoenix. 11, yeah. Smart to get some lunch during the break. Not quite hungry enough for that yet. Little snack, and then actual lunch. 11 o'clock as well for Crystal. Almost finished this 1 chapter, and then I'll have 3 more plus the epilogue to edit. But since it's break time, I could make lunch. Nothing wrong with an early lunch. 11 a.m. Mexico. Replied to some emails, clicked on YouTube for a break, and here we are. Of the same mind again, absolutely. CB yesterday went really well for me. Fantastic. Got one of my goals done. Finished outlining the capital arc for my Gay Dragon book. Yes. Fantastic. What is the next goal, CB? What is next on your list of things to do? I have managed so far to reread through Act 1 of Bird Whistle House and made some notes on that. And I've started trying to re-outline and fix the world building and magic system for my witchy YA, which is proving a lot more difficult than I assumed it would, which is not helpful. It's a lot more brain work than I wanted it to be. But I think I'm sort of getting there in regards to making everything for the plot work properly. JK's got some revision done for a chapter of PSNS. Read some comments from my beta readers that will help fix the plot holes I have. Absolutely fantastic. Jacqueline's got a new chapter finished and hope to do a little bit more later, but taking a break. Yes, we are taking a break. We are having a little chat. We are going to get some snacks. We're going to have a drink. We're going to stretch a little and get some exercise. Well, walking to get a drink, that counts as exercise, right? And refill our creative wells a little bit ahead of the rest of the day. Joanna had to fix my computer after midnight because it suddenly decided not to connect to my home internet for no reason. Technology sucks immensely. I went to bed at midnight because I started reading and didn't want to stop. The pain of finding a book that you do not want to stop reading because everything is just so good. I'll stop at this next chapter, but no, that chapter's a cliffhanger, so you have to figure out what is next and you can't not read it. Oh, Maynard's got sudden sunny weather and 13 degrees. Love when that happens. That wouldn't be... Of course it would. It's sunshine. It's a drink. It's fresh air. That's the perfect use of a break. I'm not enabling anybody. It's fine. The weekend's been great for me. About 2/3 done with the first of 2 chapters I want to do this weekend in the second draft of my book. Plus, I've done world building stuff to another project. Fantastic. CB's adjusting the rest of the outline to flow with this new arc next. Absolutely fantastic. Let me know how that goes. Dharma is fast approaching the final showdown in my Sapphic Witchy Desert Paranormal Thriller. Sapphic Witchy Desert Paranormal Thriller. I love the combination of all of those genres. That is so intriguing. That is an instant interest right there. Okay, there's 3 books I want to make reading progress on this weekend. What 3 books? I'm going to make you list them all now. I'm really sorry. I have 1 book that I want to make progress on. I'm not going to be able to find it now, am I? Oh, I am. That's fine. It's here. Which is... I'll take the cover off the hardbacks because I don't like the paper. It's Stranger Skies by Pascal Lascelles. It's the sequel to Curious Tides. And I've got like maybe 50 to 100 words left to read of this book before I'm done. So at some point today, hopefully, or this weekend, I should say, that will get read. And that'll mark my first book of 2025 at the end of February. Terrible with reading books, don't worry about it. Alice needs to edit tomorrow's video, but probably get close to at least the next chapter done today, then 2 chapters tomorrow, and probably be close to my 70k writing goal this month. Finally did finish a chapter that I've been struggling to get myself to focus on. Yes, that is always the best feeling when you manage to finish something you've been struggling on. The book I'm reading when I take breaks is from writing is Iron Widow. It's a reread so that I can pick up Heavenly Tyrant next. I have never read Iron Widow. I have heard of Iron Widow. I don't think there's many people who have not heard of Iron Widow. I always debate whether or not to put it on my TBR. Then I realised I haven't actually looked into it as much as I feel like I should. In order to gauge whether or not I will have an interest in reading it, because my brain just does not let me think that far ahead and plan. Oh, but see, there we go. Loved Iron Widow, annotated the heck out of it. What do you annotate when you annotate your books? I've never annotated a book in my entire life. And I know some people pick different things to annotate when they read their books, quotes they like and things like that. So is there anything specific that you do annotate in regards to just reading and the enjoyment of the book, or do you annotate things that you think might help with your writing as well? Definitely not for everybody, but I loved Iron Widow the first time around, and I'm really enjoying it so far for this reread. And I've only annotated books for school. I've highlighted books for school. That's about it. And I have ADHD, so I highlighted everything because everything felt really super important, which was not the case. You want to make me a cup of tea while you're there? No. See, she told me no. That's really rude. When I annotate books, I do it when I've read it a few times before so that I know the themes and motifs, and those are what I annotate. Ah, that's interesting. Only annotate a little bit, mostly when I like quotes. Yes, I have really always wanted to reread Six of Crows and Crooked Kingdom because they are and have been since I... Ignore the child, please. Since I read them, they became very quickly my favourite books and have since been my favourite books. And I really do believe that they completely ruined the YA genre for me, because I've never read another book that I've enjoyed in the YA genre as much as I've enjoyed Six of Crows and Crooked Kingdom. Curious Tides and Stranger Skies actually comes quite close. I am enjoying these books. And I really do want to reread Six of Crows and Crooked Kingdom, but I really also do not want to reread them and then they're not as good as I remember them being, and then I'm disappointed and my memory of them is tainted. Is the worry for me. I will have to give it a go one day though. Randy's usually quotes, also foreshadowing and world building. Don't expect me to remember some dude's name from book 1 that I need to remember for book 4. Absolutely. You can make me tea if you really want to make me tea. Thank you so much. This is what I'm training the children for, is to make me tea. Works sometimes. No. They're so mean to me. I can't press buttons if you're doing that, can I? I don't know if it counts as annotating, but sometimes I find lines or paragraphs I like. I stick a tab of paper in that. My copy of the Da Vinci Code looks hilarious. See, if I ever annotated a book, it would be with post-it notes. I shudder at the thought of physically writing in a book. I absolutely hate it. I don't like if there's like the single crease or fold in any of the pages. So it would be with post-it notes. So I would absolutely count that as annotating. Most of the time. Randy has a whole system because it helps me slow down when I'm reading and really take it in. Oh, see, that's an interesting way to look at it. I like that. I'm a speed reader. So a lot of the times in the past, if I read a book, I could reread that book and then I would pick out and read information that I had never read in the previous times I'd read it, because my brain skips so many lines. It's really, really bad. I only do it in ebooks, but I do like to highlight lines or characters and things I like. If I could train my cats to make... Sorry, just one of them was crawling on the floor. She doesn't want to be on camera. If I could train my cats to make tea, that would be so handy. That would be the best. The absolute best if you could train them to do that. I don't want to... Look, my brain holds things with such nostalgia sometimes. It's like I don't like re-watching TV programs from my childhood that I really, really used to love, because I know they're not going to be as good now that I'm older. I used to watch this show called The Tribe. Absolutely loved the show, and I've always wanted to go back and re-watch it because I enjoyed it so much. But I know that if I go back and re-watch it, I'm going to hate it, because it was made like almost 20 years ago now, and it will just make me re-hate a lot of the characters, which I enjoyed when I was younger. But now that I think back on them, I don't like those characters anymore. But yeah, I don't want to ruin the memory of, I love this so much, because it keeps me young. Such a rereader. Probably about a fifth to a quarter of the books I pick up are rereads. And see, that's fantastic. That's absolutely amazing. I think one of the things I need to do, because I have such a weird relationship with YA, despite the fact I only write YA, is reread the books that I don't remember liking as much, because I might like them more upon a second reread than I did on the first read through of them. I've never tested that theory. I should test that theory, actually. That's an interesting idea. Can't even train humans to empty the dishwasher, so I'm probably out of luck. Absolutely, probably. Thank you very much, Bubsy. Thank you. Off drop.
Ouchie.
You have sugar on your face. Did you spoon some into your mouth while you were spooning it into my tea? That's a yes. Yeah, 100%. Joanna's a big rereader as well. Sometimes I remember a scene and can't focus on anything else until I reread it. Look, there are only 2 scenes that I do that to, and they are both coincidentally in Crooked Kingdom. And for anybody who has read Crooked Kingdom, they are 2 scenes. One, I believe, is in chapter 40 of Crooked Kingdom, which is the chapter we don't like to talk about. And the other scene is the Kaj and Inej scene. And if you've read Crooked Kingdom, you know what scene I am talking about. And sometimes I will go and watch that scene in the Shadow and Bone TV show as well, because I love them so much. But they are the only things and the only scenes that I will go and reread, because I like remembering how I felt when I first read them, which was great anticipation and great shock. End up missing the characters and wanting to revisit them. Yes. Dharma's not much of a rereader. Too many amazing books out there that I want to read. See, I find the opposite, but then I'm super, super picky about what I read, which does not help me at all whatsoever. Do love the Grishaverse. Yes. I am so sad that they can't. Okay, no, I'm not. I'm not that sad that they cancelled the Shadow and Bone series. I am sad that I don't get the Six of Crows spin-off because they cancelled the Shadow and Bone TV series. Because I would not really re-watch the Shadow and Bone TV series, but I would re-watch all of the Crows parts of that, because they are the best part of the show and the Grishaverse. Yeah, I can't. Absolutely, CB, that is what fanfiction is for. That is the next step when something has ended and we can't let our characters go. We find new ways to appreciate them. Absolutely. Right. Speaking of the I can't type to save my life. I still can't type to save my life. Speaking of I can talk, the weekend relay. Do you guys have a favorite conversation that you have had as a host, as a co-host, as a participant, from all of the streams that you have watched so far? I know all of us writers get together and we talk about the most random things in the entire world. Do you have a favorite discussion or conversation that you've taken part in? They did kind of mesh the Six of Crows with Shadow and Bone for the TV series. I do love most of the characters. I don't like how they ended up adding the Crows in for season 2 of Shadow and Bone, because they kind of took from Crooked Kingdom a little bit and sort of messed with the continuity of that story. But I understand why they did it. But then it's also the thing where the fact that they had to mesh the two because they knew everybody was super, super excited to see the Crows just tells me they should have done the Crows separate from the beginning. But then would we have not watched Shadow and Bone because we had the Six of Crows instead? That's the difficult part. Barely remember what happened yesterday, so I've no clue what we talked about. I feel that so much. Absolutely 100%. I can't remember what I had for dinner last night. It's Maylin as co-host on Anna's stream. I love that she had little questions to get us chatting and asked us, oh yes, favourite part of the projects. Yes, I was just on, well, I personally wasn't on Anna's stream. I was watching Anna's stream. Yeah, those little questions just to get all of these sorts of little conversations going. I do love it. Anna has really, really, really good questions. I think my most favourite conversations that end up happening are the really random ones, or the ones that you don't anticipate having. I know that when I was doing my stream yesterday, we somehow got to talking about notebooks and bullet journaling and normal journaling, and that was so much fun. Just because I love stationery and I love notebooks, obviously, it's just so much fun just where everybody's brain happens to take the conversation. Yeah, absolutely so much fun with that. It's always good to make people think about the positives of their projects. We always think about the hard parts. Yes, it's one of the things that I always struggle with, and one of the things that I always need to remind myself about is that as writers, we are very much always looking to the future in regards to what we want, what we need to do, how difficult everything is. And on top of that, we are very much in the present of this isn't working, this is too hard, this is a struggle, this isn't turning out right. And we don't ever take the time to just stop and look back on everything that we have achieved and all of the good things that have happened and the progress that we have made already that we sort of don't think about, don't focus on, or have forgotten about. All of the little steps that we have already taken to get to the point of our projects we are now, those are all massive, massive accomplishments. But we never take the time to just, all right, so this is really difficult and I'm struggling with this and I've got to do this next. And, you know, publishing and marketing and all of that is the next step, and that's really difficult. But we never just sit back and go, but I've done all of this outlining, all of this prep work, I've written all of these words, I've, you know, made all these friends and this, that, and the other. We are so hard on ourselves. We are absolutely way too hard on ourselves. And I don't know whether that's because writing in general is a place where where everything is just quite hard on you regardless, whether that is critique from other people, getting yourself out there through social medias, getting your books out there, publishing is all such hard work. And it's always, everything that is an outside force is always really hard on you and your work. And it's difficult to sort of come to terms with how hard writing is and how hard people will be on your work. And this is your baby, this is your creation, and you love it so much. And I think in turn, we end up being so hard on ourselves because we know that in the future, that is going to come back on us from someone outside of our circle. And we're just like preparing ourselves to constantly have this sort of, let's be hard on myself because I need to get used to it. I need to get used to the feedback. I need to get used to the critique. And we'll do it to ourselves because we know it's going to come for us anyway, sort of thing. Dharma, one of the things I did was create an affirmations list that recounts all of my major accomplishments in life. Yes. Reminding myself I'm strong, resilient, and I get shit done. Absolutely love that. 100%. Read this affirmations list outside every day. That's what we need. Mail and compile screenshots of nice things people have said about my writing into a folder called Nice Thoughts for when I'm being too hard on myself. Yes, again, that is absolutely fantastic thing to do. Absolutely. We all need the reminder. We are all too hard on ourselves, and I don't think anyone's writing is as bad as we personally believe it is. Preemptively tearing ourselves down in preparation, because if we tear ourselves down, it's not going to feel so tough when someone else does it because we're expecting it to happen. That is such a good idea. I don't have my own folder for that, but I do maintain and very occasionally read through or reread through all of the beta notes I have for most of the projects that I have sent off to beta. And I'll purposely scroll through them and just pick out the nice bits of feedback, that this is really good, I really love this, just to sort of sit there and remind myself that I'm not doing as bad of a job writing as I think I am, that my skill is not as bad as I think it is, because other people have now been like, yes, your skill with this is good. And it's one of those where it's like, I'm the type of person who like doesn't really believe it. Someone will say something nice about my writing and I'll be like, is this just because you know me? You just don't want to hurt my feelings. You'll just say nice things to say nice things to me. Like, I find it quite difficult to always believe people when they've baited and they said it's good, which is a total me thing. But it is really nice to sit back and you know, have that outside confirmation that you are more than you think you are. Came from another person who said to put them as post-it notes in front of their writing station, but I preferred to do it digitally. Won't get ruined or get lost digitally. Absolutely. Learning to love ourselves unconditionally is like a superpower. When we love ourselves, insults from the others bounce off with little effect. Yes, that is 100% true. You need to have a tough skin, I think, to be a writer. Because, and I say back in the day, like I'm super, super old, I'm not that old, but back in the day on social media, Tumblr and stuff, where you would post snippets of your work and everything, and people would not always have the best or nicest comments to say about your work. And even to this day, you know, you get published authors who will attack people who give their books like 1, 2, or 3 stars and things like that. And not being able to have a thick skin and take in critique and comments like that, and negative comments, not being able to take them with a grain of salt, or taking them personally, like they're a personal attack on you as a person, is not the way you should be as a writer, because it's such a, I need to think of words now. I can't think of the words I want. Everybody's different, and everybody has different likes and dislikes when it comes to writing, and different preferences. And someone might really, really love a Iron Widow, for example, and someone else might absolutely hate Iron Widow, right? You can't please everybody. And I think if you don't have that sort of thick skin and you take everything so personally, it's not, writing is not always the best environment for you to be in if you are out there putting your work out there, sort of thing. You're dancing around now? No, you are dancing around. You silly. But yeah, having confidence in yourself, having confidence in your writing, despite what anybody else says, is definitely one of the best ways to go when you are a writer. We are all more than we think we are. And there is nothing wrong with a little bit of critique, negative and positive. I can't type to save my life today. I want to make you guys think now. Let me type. No, let me make you guys think. Did I type that all properly? I did type that properly. Just because I'm curious, for all you writers out there, how long have you been writing for? And how many projects have you written in your writing journey so far? I think we're all at such different places of our writing journey. It's nice to see where everybody is, how long they've been doing it for, and how many projects everybody works on. Or what's your favourite project that you've worked on so far? Dharma's recently DNF'd Anne Rice's The Witching Hour. The endless family history exposition just isn't my jam, but others love it, and that's valid. Absolutely. And that's the thing, you can't please everybody. I think the best tip I ever received was when you read a book from, say, a published author, and you do the thing where you start unintentionally comparing yourselves to this published author's work, is to go somewhere and read all of the 1-star reviews for your favorite book, and you will see that you love it and you think it's fantastic, but there are others that absolutely despise it. And you'll see that everybody has different ideas of what is good and what is not good. It's very, very humbling to sort of read those and be like, oh, okay, my book might not be as bad as I think it is then. 45 years for Cat Paw. How many? No idea. That's the way to go. Summer Honey's got literally over 100 projects, but it depends on your definition of written. I've got stuff ranging from barely brainstormed all the way to published. Everything counts as written. Ideas count, because you could absolutely love an idea and it's your favorite idea in the world. But you just haven't gotten around to writing it because the time is not there. You don't feel your skill is there to do it justice. Oh, gosh. Ellie's been writing since I was a kid, but only started in English 5 years ago. I've now got 4 proper projects, including 1 at draft 4, 2 at draft 1, and 1 almost finished draft 1. Hello. Yes? The thing came off of your...
Yeah.
We can fix that. No worries. Do you have a favourite out of all of your projects, Malin? Or are they all near and dear to your heart? Well, it's going to have to go like that for now, Bubs. Because I think it's snapped. Don't run away. We'll keep it on my desk for now, and I'll try and figure it out later. We don't really need it on there. There you go. Off you trot. CB, just about 12 years. Writing since I was about 12. Don't know how many projects I've had over the years. Most of them are unfinished, though. The amount of unfinished projects I have and the amount of shelved projects I have is absolutely ridiculous. Morgan, hello. How are you doing today? Okay, honestly not sure when I started writing, but I remember doing it as a teenager. I remember starting to write my first ever book when I was 14, 15 years old in a little stripy notebook. And it was a paranormal story that had a witch, a werewolf, a vampire, and a ghost in it. And they had to all work together to try and stop the supernatural hunter who was after them to kill them or something like that. That was super, super embarrassing to say. I think I did a video once where I found a couple of pieces of my old work, and I think that was one of them. And I really embarrassingly read through what I had written. That was so embarrassing to say. Oh, hate that. Malin has a soft spot for an office of monsters because it feels like a supernatural metaphor for feeling stuck in a corporate job you hate, and is so London-centric it feels closer to me. Yeah, absolutely love it when you've got that realism in it, that sort of, especially when you've got like paranormal, fantasy, sci-fi and stuff like that, that sort of aspect of realism, aspect of real life. Why are you crawling on the floor? My children are weird. Please ignore them. Crystal's been writing since I was 14-ish. As after dinner, it's not after dinner yet. I took a break at some point over the years. I've had dozens of versions of the same story that I kept trying to make work, plus many failed attempts to write other things, but I kept coming back to paranormal fantasy. Yes. I'm writing one paranormal fantasy, and it's not actually as paranormal as people might think. I feel like people might think paranormal is like vampires and werewolves and stuff, and my paranormal fantasy is not that. It is visions of the future and tarot and mystical powers. My favourite is hard. There's just so many different reasons. Certain ones feel a little more special than others. Makes it hard to choose just one. Dharma started writing when I was a teen in the late 70s, early 80s on a manual typewriter. Oh, I'd love to use a manual typewriter one day. Got back into it 2007, first published 2016, about 13 published books and a dozen short stories. Yes. Favourite projects, whichever one I'm working on at that moment until I suddenly hate it and I have to move on. Yes. Absolutely, yes. My favourite one at the moment is Of Stars and Smoke and Other Intangible Things, because that's what I'm working on for my third draft, and that's the one I'm reading at the moment and thinking, yeah, this is really, really good. I love this. This is fantastic. And I'll get bored of that eventually and move on to the next story, and I'll be like, yeah, this is amazing. This is great. I love this story. What am I thinking? This, yeah. Hard and firm favourite. Like everything else in my entire life, it's whatever I happen to be watching, listening to at the time. My favourite thing to listen to, my favourite musical right now is Epic the Musical, because that's what I'm listening to. One of my favourite shows is Arcane, because I've just come off of watching season 2 of that. Would I say they're my favourite of all time? Arcane, maybe. But I can never have one favourite that is my favourite for the rest of my life. Paranormal fantasy is very much vampires, werewolves, gods and magic. Love the pile of projects that we're going to call 8 books in a chaos trench coat. Love it. Absolutely love it. 8 books in a chaos trench coat is brilliant. I don't miss manual typewriter. I'd probably hate it, but I would love to give it a go. Yes, Epic. Don't get me started on Epic the Musical. I can't do it right now. Give me a different live stream. And I will sit there and rant about it in the best way possible. Spent my summers typing up my manuscripts on Mum's manual typewriter too. Don't miss it at all the script fingers when you slipped off a key. Office Full of Monsters. Called it both. Yeah, the titles the titles for books are so awful, so difficult, and so weird. I range from projects and then whatever word. I've had Project Grey, Project Floral, Project Theft. I've had Project Body Swap, which became Thrice a Broken Oath because I wanted it to have a title, and then I hated the title and then renamed it And So We Covet. Things change as you write, and you know, when you come up with a title and you then write the book, the title sometimes just doesn't fit with what you've now written, so it has to change again. Lightly changed my mind again. Coming up with titles, writing pitches and elevator pitches, 100% more difficult than writing the book itself. And I won't hear any arguments on that, mostly because we don't have time for arguments on that. But somehow they are a lot more difficult than writing the actual book itself, and I don't understand how. I'd love to hear your epic one. Maybe one day. I literally went on a walk earlier and I just listened to the Ithaca saga over and over again while I was on my walk, because that is just my go-to saga at the moment. It's my favourite saga at the moment, again, because it's the newest one that's come out. Feel a little better now. Yeah. Also relatable. What are you doing? She doesn't stop bouncing. I don't know what it is. Is this the sugar you snuck earlier? Is that why you're so bouncy?
Yeah, I just want to bounce.
You just want to bounce. It's the sugar.
You're the best mummy ever looked up over. Yeah?
Thanks. Yeah, it's the sugar she ingested earlier. My current paranormal series is witches, shifters, undead, ancient beings, dragons in a contemporary rural desert setting, like Southern Vampire series, but in Arizona. I didn't do that. Someone wrote that, but I'm clicking it and I'm putting it up on the screen.
Right.
Yeah. I listen to Ithaca all the time. CB, favourite song out from the Ithaca saga / favourite moment out of all of those songs in Ithaca saga? I need to know. Sam, hello, how are you? Sam exists, everybody. She's good. Feeling tons better. Are you 100% better? Has it completely disappeared, Sam, or are you still feeling a little bit iffy?
Iffy?
Yes, iffy.
What's iffy?
You were hoping yesterday it would be gone by today.
What's iffy?
Iffy means ish. If you're feeling okay-ish. There we go. They're saying hello.
Yay!
Would you? Yes. Yeah.
Hello.
And also that, yes. Specifically, Penelope's final verse, and specifically, it's a toss-up between Telemachus' verse and. You know what? Odysseus has some really, really great verses in it. It's always a toss-up between Telemachus's verse, including everything that happens after, and
look at it.
The one that's like "Old King, our leader is dead." Also, fantastic part of that thing. What am I looking at? That. Thank you. Pretty. I'm over the stomach bug, just in the recovery phase. Okay, so the worst has passed.
Sam.
Yes, that's Sam.
Sam?
Yeah, Sam was feeling a little bit unwell yesterday, but she's feeling better now.
Is this a she or a he?
It's she.
It's a he.
It's her name's Samantha.
Okay.
And she's walked off. She's sick. She doesn't know words. It's fine. Right. We are almost at the end of the hour, and your mandated Storytellers Hearth write-a-thon break is almost at its end. Her deep momentary concern, and she's now walked off. Absolutely. we are going to start winding down and heading over to the next sprint, which is CB, I believe, with Rowan and Matt. If you are in the playlist for the Storytellers Hearth Write-a-thon, it will automatically take you to the next stream when this one has ended, so you don't need to worry about clicking into any different places. Things are falling. So being in the playlist, if you intend to be here for most of the day, is definitely the best place to be because everything is moved over for you. Sam needs to go to the library, which I will work up to doing. Work up slowly to doing. Fresh air and the might help a little bit, but also there's the botheredness of having to get up and actually do some stuff, which can be very off-putting because that's moving around and we dislike that. So I would love everybody to take these next 10-ish or so minutes before CB's stream starts to grab yourself a drink, grab yourself a snack, get your early lunch sorted, make sure you have all of your bits and pieces ready to go. CB is going to come in massively energetic. I absolutely learned that last night when she hopped onto my stream. Absolutely going to love it. Hurriedly getting breakfast. Yes. You can eat on stream. It's absolutely fine. And get yourselves ready for the rest of the day. You are going to have 2 more streams, CB followed by Mars, before you have your second mandated Storytellers Hearth break. All of the links for the Storytellers Hearth and the playlist are all linked down below for you if you want to go and check those out. It has been a fantastic chat, Dharma. Thank you so much. My daughter is delightful most of the time. I will pass on the message. Lunch has been obtained, achievement unlocked. I have my tea, so that's one job less that I have to do before I start doing all of the work for the next stream. Thank you guys so much for joining me. And I will be seeing everybody in the chats over the next few hours. Bye, guys.